I just want you at this point to just have your mannequin entirely sectioned into 4 different quarters. So we've got it sectioned off from ear to ear, and then from the front hairline all the way to the back. We want this in 4 sections because today we're going to practice 4 different types of curls. And with all 4 of these curls, in the end, this hairstyle is not going to look like anything. This is simply technique, simply to practice. Don't worry if your mannequin looks like it's got one section curly, one section straight. We just want to practice today. So the first section, I'm going to show you barrel curls. So when you're taking your section, remember about your bases. Take a nice clean section, and however fat your curling iron is, that's how wide you can take that section. Same as with your rollers when you were trying to measure up what size base of the hair you should take. The same thing here, however wide your curling iron is, you can take that. Make sure you comb this hair right from the root all the way to the ends before you start. If it's tangly before you ever get in there, you're never going to have a nice smooth curl. So you're going to come in there and take your curling iron, you're going to open it up, put the hair in there, and you can just run the curling iron along the hair just to get it smooth at first. And then you're going to take that hair and wrap it all the way to the ends. Please make sure the ends get wrapped all the way around. If at one point I ended up stopping here and I rolled back, you can see that I would have a big kink along the hair if those ends didn't get curled all the way around. So make sure you're coming in, goes all the way around that roller, and then start rolling. If you have a few stray ends you think didn't quite make it around, just tuck them around with your tail comb and they'll tuck under. Then all the way up to the root. Really try not to use this end. You want to be able to have that as your comb. This is just safety, but you don't need to use it. Then put your comb right in between the mannequin and the curling iron. Remember, this is going to be very important for your client, because this comb is going to protect them from the heat and so that you're not burning their face or their ear. You'll leave this here until this gets nice and hot to the touch, so I really recommend that you have a good quality curling iron that is going to get nice and hot. When the hair feels nice and warm, you can just unravel it just a little bit, unroll it, and just do a little bit of a click, click, click with your curling iron. You're going to have a little bit of a barrel curl here, which is where the name barrel curl comes up into play here. And we're just going to pin these up and out of the way. You're going to continue that process so that this entire section has been done in these barrel curls. We're going to be in the back section here, and I want to section this one into 2 sections because we're going to do spiral curls back here. So I'm just going to lift up the top half and pin it up and out of the way. And I'm just going to work with the back panel here. Now, because I want these to be spiral curls, and you can take these spiral curls, you certainly can take really small sections, but let's save ourselves the time and watch what we can do here. We can take a really long section, like this, and we can use this to make a spiral curl. We can probably actually separate this in the end and make 3 or 4 spiral curls out of it. So I'm going to be in here. If you have some hairspray, you might want to mist it at this point with just a little bit of hairspray. It'll help these ones to stay in. This is the only one where you can really pinch it at the end. The other ones you want your hair spread out as much as you can. These ones you can pinch around that roller. You'll go in and you can see I'm hanging on to that end, but I do have the hair rolled around, and then I can start. Oh, that just loose came out. My curling iron's not really tight. Try that again. So I may have just needed to have hung on to it for a little bit more. And so I'm starting at the bottom of the curling iron, and I just locked that. I wrapped those ends around, and now I'm going to go all the way up. And then you can see that this is going to be a spiral curls coming, starting down here and going up to the top. Same thing, you have to use your comb in between the head. Otherwise you will burn your client. You're going to leave this on there until it feels nice and warm. And we'll just edit this part so that they don't have to watch.
Elevator music.
Elevator music. Then when the hair feels warm, you can just click that hair right out. And you should have, now it's gonna look a little bit like a sausage curl coming down, but when you take this hair, you can actually separate this into three or four or five, I guess it's up to you, different curls as they come around. And then you'll have, depending on the size of your curling iron and the heatness of it, you will have, and the hotness of it, you will have nice spiral curls coming down. So try the spiral curls all in this area here. So here we are in the third panel of the hair, and we're going to take this one and just do an end curl. There's nothing fancy about an end curl. Lots of people use these ones. You're just going to, same thing, take the section of hair about the same width as your curling iron in there. And this one you're only going to be dealing with, it's called an end curl because that's all you're going to end up curling. Just run your curling iron through this mannequin's hair, and when you get to the end of it, just give it a little curl under. All you want on this one are the ends to be smoothed and curled under. Okay, so follow that through the whole one, so you should just have this one smooth and curled under. Okay, here we are in the last section. And this one's going to be very much like the end curls we just did, except we're going to be flipping them up. So they're much like the indentation curls of the roller set, where instead of rolling under, you're going to be rolling up. This one, it depends on what size of curl you want. If you had a really large curling iron, this works well. I know some people have wonderful straighteners, and they can actually use their straighteners to give them that end curl. So you're just in there, and you just want to roll that and flip it up. Now notice the difference here. I have the curling iron, the hair is going up, and I'm rolling it up, okay? Versus the other one, I had the hair going down. And we're going to do that for that whole section. Okay, so when we're finished, we've got that one side. You can see that it should be fairly smooth and just the ends flipped up. It's just an end curl, but we wanted to get a flip in there. The last section, just got it nice and smooth with the curling iron, put an end curl in it. These were done with our long sections with the curling iron, and then we split the curls up so that we could get a variety of curls. And we got our section of spirals over here. And then the last one was just the barrel curls, and they were done all the way up to the scalp. And you can probably take your clips out now. And then this part you can just run your fingers through this and just notice the difference in the curl that you can get from a barrel curl versus the spiral. You can see the barrel curl doesn't have the same ringlet pattern. It's still got lots of curl to it, but it does have a different shape to it. So with all of those, you should be able to do just about any hairstyle with any of those curling iron techniques.